Welcome, listeners, to this week's episode of Unexplained Legends. I'm Roger Sullivan, and with me, as always,
is Denis Rubbish Tip Lane.
And together we are the Unexplained Legends. I think what really threw you off there, Denis, is I didn't say, and with me as always is...
You didn't actually, I didn't even notice it.
And without me saying is, you just froze. You were just like, is it me?
Line,
somebody else
line please, line. Sweating line.
So, you've had quite an eventful week, I've heard, Denis.
Just the usual old shit in London, basically. There's a new segment note at the start of this, just shit that annoys Denis. That's basically what this is. So the parking ticket, miraculously, I was talking about getting fined £90 for parking in Lidl and spending £100 inside there. Right. Miraculously, they got back to me. They said, don't worry about it.
You're joking me.
Said, don't worry about it, £90 is gone. How do you feel about that?
I hate that.
Yeah, you do hate that, don't you? Don't like that.
I'm telling you, man, I was thinking, I would just chuckle to myself during the week.
During the week? Wait.
Yeah. Just chuckle away to myself.
He's got his £90 down, right? But don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. They didn't let me rest. So I have to switch GPs. Right. So I want to get a GP closer to where I'm living now. Easy peasy. NHS is like, you don't realise how easy this is. So I said, there are your instructions. But as in the UK all the time, like it's like, here are the instructions, right? Now we're not going to show you the page of secret instructions, right? The real instructions. These are the instructions to follow that will inevitably fail. So I was like, okay, I'll go online onto their form. And I went online onto this form, it's a simple one, just filling in your name and like address, whatever, filling it all in, get to the last page, and I upload a file. Right now, there's no warning underneath this file. It just says upload like an ID or whatever. Upload an ID. It says, I was at this now 40 minutes. Right, it was a long time I was at this thing.
I'm loving this.
Upload the ID. It says this file is too big, and it erased everything.
Unbelievable.
I
love that. That's so good. What kind of details were you giving? How much time and effort was it?
All the details in the world. Like I had to go looking for things, like I had to go look at previous documents, go into different emails, find numbers, do all this, put down next of kin, everything. And then at the end of it just said, actually, no, sod it, you're not getting in. And now what I'm going to have to do is, because that doesn't work, I'm going to have to fill out a form. And I just don't think I can bring myself to do that. I'm paperless. I'm a paperless man. I just can't do it.
You are paperless. You went paperless very early. I remember being with you the first time you were able to, at least in Ireland, the first time they rolled out like Google Pay. And I remember you saying, "Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do Google Pay. I'm going to try it on my phone." Do you remember this?
I don't really. But
I'm going to try this.
I'm sweating like I'm remembering it subconsciously.
And you'd picked up, you'd picked up 2 non-alcoholic beers and a frozen pizza. And we were in Tesco and Man Point in Cork, and you put them down, you scanned them, and obviously it's like, age required for the non-alcoholic beer. And the guy comes over and he goes, "Oh, do you have ID?" And you go, "No, I don't have any ID." And he just says, "Oh, well, I can't serve you then." And you go, "Are you fucking joking?" And instead of going through the rigmarole, you just walked away from everything. You just went, "No."
Isn't that the way to do it though? Just disconnect completely and just walk out the door.
Yeah.
You know what? I wish I had 25 pizzas. I wish I had 35 pizzas. So 35 pizzas would have to be put back.
That they're all just fucked away.
Another little grievance I have as well, right? Is I definitely know that I'm getting old now, right? I have reached the stage where I heard people kicking a ball off a wall today, and I was infuriated.
Really?
I was like, that is so fucking annoying. But if you really do think about it, like, I lived in a housing estate, I used to crack a fucking ball off this lad's head, off this wall all day long, and he'd come out giving out to us, and we'd be like, he's so lame, what's wrong with him? He's probably the same age I am now, like 45. And so and I was just thinking, like, how annoying is that you move in, pay a mortgage, and then there's a couple of kids, and they just decide your wall is the wall
for free.
For free, yeah.
For free.
That they're going to kick the ball off of forever.
Well, 2 things. Firstly, I'm still spry. If I heard that noise, I'd go, "Oh, going to join in."
Going to join him, would you?
Yeah, going to join in. Me kicking around with a bunch of 11-year-olds.
What can I just before you start? What did you call that game?
That's exactly what I was going to fucking ask you.
No way.
Yeah, swear to God. We called it, get this, wall ball.
Ah, scandalous. Absolutely scandalous.
What do you call it?
What do you think we call this? Do you know any other names for it?
Rebounds.
Rebounds? No way. We call it bangers.
Bangers?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it made a banging noise. So you'd be banging off it.
Even if I think now, wall ball, I think if it was to ever go to market, that's what they'd call it.
Yeah, but it would be, illuminous green and people who are wearing 3D glasses that don't work.
Wall ball. I just remember, I think that it never got better than wall ball, I think.
Did you play wall ball off your own wall? Because you lived out in the country.
No, we didn't. We could only play it in school, in the schoolyard.
You didn't go like half a mile down the road to the neighbour's house just to kick it off?
No. What we used to do is we'd kick it off a particularly big cow.
Oh, yes.
The side of a particularly big cow. And then the farmer wouldn't know why its milk was coming out rotten. What we used to do is we used to play it against, we had a water tower, a disused water tower in our schoolyard. And we used to kick it off the side of that. And it had, Pebble Dash?
Yeah, I do know Pebble Dash.
Yeah.
The destroyer of elbows and arms.
Exactly. So it had Pebble Dash, and terrible in almost every circumstance, except it gave you. It was let's say there was 2 foot of like flat wall, and then the rest was Pebble Dash, and it gave you so many interesting like attempted techniques.
Yeah, it's like training for Ninja Warrior or something.
Yeah, isn't it? Because if you wanted to, if you're like if you're trying to set somebody up easy, you kind of get it off the flat bit. But then if you really wanted to fuck with somebody, you like fucking chip it up and you get it off the Pebble Dash. You don't know where that's going to go.
Yeah, it's great and completely randomizing the bones.
Yeah, it's impossible to tell. Like, whoa!
But do you know before as well? Like, just think about how funny it was when you used to, you go up and head or something, or you just. One day you go out and you just smash your head off a wall, by accident.
Oh,
you just get a horrific injury. Like, I remember a lad being pushed into Pebble Dash wall, like, and he was absolutely mangled, like, and we were just going on as if that was just an everyday thing. If I got pushed up against a Pebble Dash wall, no, I'd be in hospital for 3 weeks.
I hit my head a lot as a child, and I remember it happening in the school once. I slipped on some like. Maybe rainwater or something.
Comical banana.
And fucking smashed my head off a pillar. Absolutely fucking ached so hard that I genuinely, I went home and I said to my mom, I think we should sue.
Did you come in and say that to her with your little briefcase from school?
Yeah, I swear to Christ. I said, and my mom goes, "Oh, shut up! I don't know. That's not. You were probably messing around." And I said, "This is really hurting the defense.
We've got a good case here."
Yeah. Don't you dare! If they bring you in as a character witness, you're dead to me. You're fucking dead to me, bitch.
Oh wow, okay, all right. I hope your dad's still not listening to the podcast. What are we doing this week?
This week, Dennis, right? We're doing a bit of an interesting one, right? Bit of an interesting one, a special episode where I think for correct me if I'm wrong, maybe potentially for the first time, we're kind of revisiting a mystery, an area of a mystery.
Wait, so we're revisiting something we've touched upon in a previous episode?
Not directly. Not like, like, it's not like we're doing it again.
Yeah.
But it's in the same wheelhouse.
Can I just ask you straight out? Are we doing it again?
No, we're not.
Okay.
We're not doing it again. Okay.
All right. This, because we've done the moon landing. If this one's called the landing on the moon, question mark.
No, it's not.
It's
not. We're doing Apollo 12. This Dennis, the one we're doing today, is something called the Sierra Sounds.
Sierra Sounds. So I've never ever heard of that.
No.
Is that Sierra the location?
Yes.
Okay, so Sierra Nevada or something.
Bingo. Spot on.
All right. A lot of stuff happens out there.
Well, this thing happened.
Okay, Sierra Sounds. So I'm guessing these are some sort of peculiar sounds that people have heard out there.
Yeah. What do you think they might be related to?
Military testing.
No. Well, Yeah, that's going
Don't rule it out, I'd say.
That's
Scroll down those pages.
Anyway. Yeah.
Scroll down those pages.
But go on. No, that's not correct.
Some sort of geological formation that they can't explain.
No. Remember, it's something we've touched on before.
Something we've touched on out there.
It's not necessarily out there.
Up there? Underneath? Is it underneath?
No.
Is it in the ground?
No, you're going a bit mental now.
What do you mean going a bit mental?
Area.
What are you saying? You did an entire episode about mole people living underground with the Nazis.
Yeah, yes. Okay,
you're calling me mental?
Yeah, I am. That should really be more of a sign to you.
Give me another...
Something we did before. We've actually done... something we've done before. Come on.
Yeah, we've done 60-something episodes.
Yeah, I know. And you can listen to the whole back catalogue on Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
And give us reviews. 5 stars. All right, go on. Tell me what it is.
Dennis, it's related to your friend and mine, Bigfoot.
Oh, no, I never would have guessed that. I was going way too alien.
Yeah.
Way too alien.
So, potentially... Well, I don't want to spoil anything, actually. But I'll just say... Just... Take it as read. These sounds are related, in some way related to...
Wait. Yeah.
On a balmy summer night in 1971, Al Berry, along with his friend Ron Moorhead, set up camp in the Sierra Nevada mountains, somewhere between Lake Tahoe and Yosemite National Park. All of these places, well-known places from TV shows. The classics.
Top trumps of American places.
Yeah, where else would you go? Mount Rushmore, that's another one.
Oh, that's... I have to say, there's no way I can beat that.
There's one, I think.
Grand Canyon?
That's what I was thinking.
I think Mount Rushmore is way more synonymous with especially any sort of American cartoon.
Yeah. Do you know what blows my mind about Mount Rushmore? Is like just the fact it was a natural geographic location. Like, that's crazy that it was.
But the heads do resemble a lot of the former presidents.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, no, they do. Like, if you see them, like, I know
ones?
it was like
Bush.
Oh, Bush, Trump,
Obama.
Obama's up there.
Do you know what? That would be unbelievable. Is if every few years they revised the presidents,
put up new ones or added them in.
Yeah,
imagine how terrifying that would be. That would turn into from a pretty nice monument to like having 100 heads on it, into some sort of overlord. Again, aliens coming down there, and we'd be like, "Oh, we're taking them Mount Rushmore," and they're like, "What is that? Is that your leader? Like, what is that thing?"
Yeah, they fly off home. It's like Finn McCool type thing. Do you know what blows my mind about? I remember reading up before about the old Mount Rushmore. Is that I think the US government did it to incentivize tourism to that area. It's just like maybe start with a water park.
Where is it?
Rushmore.
Around that mountain?
Yeah. Something in my head is saying it's in like Ohio or something, but I have no idea.
I think you should. I think bar the first person who did it, you should get kicked out of a writer's room on any show if you say, "Here, let's make the heads on Mount Rushmore talk to our characters in some sort of daydream." If that comes in, just say, "Yeah, no worries, Derek. Can you just meet us outside here in the office?" And just give them P45 gone.
Do you think so?
Yeah,
because I've never heard that before, and I'd watch a whole like mini series just about that.
You'd watch a sitcom on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore, except there's been a huge mix-up, and it's just an average man gets added onto Mount Rushmore, except they're all alive.
Okay, yeah. Do you know what? Greenlit. There we go. So, the two men, Dennis, before we get too far off track, the two men were not merely on a normal camping trip. However, in fact, Al Berry was there in search of Bigfoot. Berry was a reporter who held a deep skepticism for the Bigfoot phenomenon and thought what better way to disprove it than to investigate it himself. So, hot on the heels of a supposed sighting in the Sierra Nevada area, he decided to go in search of Bigfoot, excited to put the myth to bed.
You know what's so funny as well about this podcast, now that we've done it for a long time, is the evolution of what surprises me has completely and utterly changed.
What do you mean?
So like you know, when we did Bigfoot first, I think you teed it up like, oh, we're doing Bigfoot. And it was like, oh my God, we're doing Bigfoot. Oh, that's crazy. I can't believe we're doing Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Now, like, to surprise me, you have to say, and they saw Bigfoot in a Ford Focus speeding through the Sierra, like, wherever, plains, desert.
What?
No, I'm not saying in a bad way. I'm just saying that it's almost like you're slowly training me into this stuff. Do you know, as in I'm coming more over to your side than what I was on episode 1.
Okay. I see where you're coming from, but I think deep down inside you'd still be pretty surprised if Bigfoot just popped up out of nowhere. Just plain vanilla Bigfoot.
Here, if I was going out to Sainsbury's or something and Bigfoot was there lining up with a pot of hummus, obviously I would be like, this is crazy. But I'm just saying that right now, you know, like what I'm trying to do, or like what I'm trying to get into is like, okay, Bigfoot, what's he up to in this episode?
Oh, what's he doing?
Yeah.
Okay, because last time we knew he was just going for a walk.
Potentially,
few years had passed. He must be up to
potentially
something else now.
Potentially, I think you had a theory that he may have been, or she may have been taking a shit behind a tree.
Did I?
Yeah, that's when they discovered her.
That's probably because if you watch the clip, she looks embarrassed.
Well, I think at the time, though, I can't remember, maybe some listener can go back and listen to it, but I think at the time you may have suggested that she was kind of caught in a hop, and that's why the weird kind of run walk was happening.
Well, do you know what? If I did say that, I find it very persuasive.
And you stand by it.
Yeah, it's still to this day that's very persuasive for me. So, like I said, Denis, Al Berry is going here to try to debunk Bigfoot because he's so damn annoyed about all this nonsense, right? So he went there specifically to put the myth to bed. Although, get this, Denis, things did not go quite to plan.
I'd say they didn't, or we wouldn't be doing this episode.
Yeah. So, as dusk turned to night, Berry and his friend were just about to turn in when suddenly, out of nowhere, they heard something approaching. It disturbed the trees and rocks as it lumbered towards their camp. The two men said nothing, both frozen in fear. As it neared the camp, however, the movement stopped. What followed, though, was a series of vocalizations, which Berry described himself as, in quotation marks, two voices that I could discern. It vocalized, and the sounds carried through the trees, as I have never heard human voices carry ever before or since. And it whistled, a clear, beautiful whistle, like a bird might make, between its kind, and at one point, back and forth with us.
It whistled like a bird might make.
Well, he's saying a beautiful whistle like a bird might make. So it's not necessarily. I don't think it's necessarily bird-like. Maybe it's similar to birds in its beauty.
Oh, okay, great. But other than that, no similarities. You know, as happens on this podcast a lot, right? I've got a little bit of a story to tell you as well about a time I was camping with a good friend of mine. Now, we weren't in search of debunking Bigfoot at the time.
Okay.
But we were drinking down in Castle Gregory in Kerry, and we woke up
down a lot.
Woke up in a tent, and it was probably 6 o'clock in the morning. Sun was just coming up, and we heard all these weird noises, definitely not human, like outside the tent. And we were like, what is that? And then we saw an incredibly weird shadow come through the tent, and our tent was like kind of half open, and a big goat jumped into the tent.
Are you serious?
Into a 2-man tent, and a big wild goat I don't know if he's wild, maybe someone owned him, I have no idea, but a goat came into the tent. And I the best thing is that I was like, what the fuck is going on? And my friend looked over at the goat, kind of like, oh, whatever, like, and
just get over it.
There's a goat inside your tent. I'll tell you, when a goat comes into your tent, it's up to them when they leave. You cannot do anything.
Really, you can't get the goat out?
No, you can't do anything. Not when you're in that hungover
Did you
state.
rub the goat?
No, I was in fear of the goat, I have to say, because if that goat kicked off, I'm losing. Like, I'm horizontal. The goat is standing up.
Why would a goat kick off?
I don't know. Maybe it got scared or something. Like, it needs to get. Maybe it's not even scared. Maybe it's just like a bully goat. Like, maybe it's going to come in and kick the heads off.
Why are you Billy Goat?
I'm sorry. Why are you not? Why would you not be afraid of a goat coming into you in a 2-man tent?
Well, I grew up around goats. I have no problem.
Oh, you raised by goats, were you?
Yeah, I was, yeah.
Yeah?
Goaty McGee, they used to call me.
Get up in the morning just eating cornflakes with your goat next to you watching cartoons.
I'd take my goat to school. Ride the old goat to school.
But wait, goats are not as like inherently friendly though.
No, but they're I would consider them stoic. Do you know? I'd say you'd have to wrong one for it to really do you harm.
You mean like if a goat was a prisoner of war, it might get through it?
Oh, it would definitely get through it, I'd say.
Yeah.
I'd say there'd be the Japanese aren't breaking that bastard. I'll tell you that much.
Send in the goats.
Yeah, the war goats. You made me think of something there. The only tent story that jumps to mind for me is I knew somebody. This is not an uncommon occurrence. Somebody went to Oxygen, and in the middle of the night, woke up needing to go to the toilet.
But this is a music concert for anyone who's listening.
Yeah, music festival that used to go on in Ireland. Absolute shit show. Woke up in the middle of the night, needed to take a piss. Went outside, turned around, pissed into his own tent, and then got back into the pissy tent and slept the whole way through it.
Covered in piss. And probably put down the tent as well, so all the piss vapors would stay in there with him.
Yeah. So next morning, woke up, couldn't understand why he smelled so strongly of piss. And swearing to God he hadn't pissed himself.
I'm going to sound like that guy, but I feel like I matured out of Oxygen as soon as I was mature enough to go there. It just wasn't for me being covered in mud and piss. I just wasn't one of those mud piss guys.
Oh, la-di-da.
I know how that sounds. I couldn't get down with it, you know.
No, I think sometimes you just have no idea how you come across.
Do you think that's bad to say?
Yeah, that's bad. No one's above fucking piss and mud. Meanwhile, you're camping with a goat. You're there with King Puck.
King Puck. It could. You know what? That's actually quite close to Killorglin. That could have been the king.
Maybe that's what he was doing. He's out camping.
Do you know?
Oh, go on.
Sorry, we should probably get back into it after this. But the same night, a guy woke up in a farmer's kitchen. In general, or just a guy who was got lost, woke up in a farmer's kitchen, like he was with us.
Yeah.
And do you think, is this a correct response of a farmer? Like, is this because like you'd have an idea of this? I think you said you may have had a
rural upbringing,
a rural tool in your house, put it that way. But the farmer came out with a shotgun.
Oh, okay, yeah.
With a shotgun, squarely aimed at him, like. I guess that probably is.
It doesn't surprise me. I'm pretty sure it's not. I'm pretty sure in Ireland you don't have the kind of American style self-defense of like you wouldn't have a leg to stand on if you killed somebody with that.
Who was asleep at your kitchen table?
Yeah, but it does remind me of. I knew a guy who I have to be careful how I say this. I knew a guy who used to live down the road from a vet, and routinely the vet would this was when the guy was 12 or 13. When he was walking through one of the vet's fields, the vet would routinely fire his shotgun into the field while the guy was in there.
I totally believe it. That was for a while there. That was kind of common, wasn't it?
Well, it was very common with this guy, who week in week out. But back to the lamestream narrative, Dennis, right? Because you were talking there about the beautiful whistle kind of caught you off guard there, right? Well, Dennis, it's even more remarkable than just the sounds they heard were the fact that they were replicated the next night in almost identical fashion. Now, with his interest piqued, Berry returned later that summer with the express purpose of recording these sounds. No easy feat with 1970s audio technology.
I say this guy would love roosters, wouldn't he? When he hears one of them.
What do you...
Every morning, same time, rooster goes off.
Day in, day out. But these guys don't miss.
Isn't he acting like this is kind of a peculiar thing that some animal would make the same noise, night after night?
Well, when it's Bigfoot, yeah.
If it is Bigfoot, I think when it is
Bigfoot, when it is Bugfoot,
you can get him on Wish.
Yeah, if a goat is popping into your tent every other night, right?
No one said he's coming in every other night.
Yeah,
I don't have carnal knowledge of this goat.
Yeah, but if he is, right, that's not too shocking. But it's the fact that Bigfoot, the famously elusive creature, right, he's popping in every night after night.
But aren't you kind of destroying your own point there? If this thing is famously elusive, why is he turning up in the same place night after night?
That's why this is interesting.
Okay.
If Bigfoot was famously like just punctual, constantly clocking in every day, there wouldn't be mystique around him, Dennis.
No, there wouldn't. But that's Bigfoot's brand. I understand that. So why is he breaking from the brand?
Well, we don't know. That's the whole thing about the mystery.
Okay, well, I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of it by the end of the episode.
Though. Yeah, we will. Listen, right? You're fucking around, but I'm telling you, by the end.
I'm not fucking around. You can't just say I'm fucking around when I'm asking you questions.
Okay, right. Well, he's fucking around anyway, guys. You can all hear him.
Just ignore him.
You can hear him.
Just ignore him.
Around. Anyway, Dennis. Right?
Pan your mics or your speakers over to the left. You won't even hear him.
Right. To his credit, Dennis. To his credit, however, Barry did manage to capture the infamous sounds known as the Sierra sounds, or the samurai sounds, some people call them, because they sound not unlike the screams of a samurai in a Kurosawa movie. Berry also managed to capture a number of potential footprints from the beasts. What made these encounters even scarier, however, is Berry's continued healthy skepticism. In his own words, "I looked high and low for evidence of the joke, including searching the others' belongings while they were away hunting. I wasn't a novice investigator of facts, but I came home stumped. Basically, with nothing to write about until the story unraveled by itself, or I helped in with further research and investigation."
So he came home with proof of Bigfoot.
Well, yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Is that what he came home with, though?
Well,
or are you saying he came home with not being able to disprove it? Because the language got a bit confusing there.
Well, it depends.
Deliberately.
What? No, it depends, Dennis. What exactly are you What do you consider definitive proof?
Bigfoot in a cage, probably. Or a rock scrawl if Bigfoot was here, maybe that would do as well.
Okay, well, I would say it's closer to the second one.
I think you get genuinely. All right.
Yeah.
Footprints, right, which he has.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Some hair.
No, it doesn't have hair.
Legendarily hairy creature, right?
Yeah.
Little bit of hair and Bigfoot bones.
Whoa! Calm down.
I think that's. What would you say? Like, what would be your definitive proof?
Where are the? I would say audio recordings.
Audio recordings. That's where you're at.
Yeah, I'm a very audio person. I'm a very oral person. If they've got audio recordings, I'd say he's dead to rights.
Yeah, I suppose. But how do you discern or tell the difference between? How do you tell it's Bigfoot, basically? If you've never heard Bigfoot before, how do you know that that's Bigfoot? Well, you've nothing to compare it off of.
Well, I would compare it to the other animals in the area, and I would say, is there anything else that could make this sound?
But does that make it Bigfoot then, or does it make it just another animal?
I would say by process of elimination, given everything that's going on here, it's the most logical explanation.
So you think because of the sightings there, because of the things people are seeing, the footprints, you think that it has to be Bigfoot making this sound?
I think it's probably the most logical conclusion.
You might not know this, but what about the other guys with the famous Bigfoot footage that most people will know? Did those guys report any sounds that she made?
The Patterson Gimlin footage. No, she was quiet.
So
it was during the day, and she was caught.
All right, okay. She was caught in the hop. But if she was caught in the hop, she'd surely go, "Oh Jesus," or shit.
No.
You know what I mean?
I don't think so. Because if you're caught in the hop, you're like, "Oh shit." you know.
Okay, how about this, right? Because this is quite interesting.
Yeah.
If they're making these noises, why are they making the noises?
Communicate.
Do you know? Like, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, are they mating? Are they calling other big feet?
Potentially. I think it might be spiritual.
Right, man. Why would you go off that rail? Like?
What?
Just derailed yourself. Why would you go spiritual all of a sudden?
I think it might.
You're saying Bigfoot is praying.
I think Bigfoot has a primitive religion. Yes.
Just himself, like.
Well, the group, the community.
Okay, so you're saying it's more likely, right? You're saying it's a better case for if you put forward that it's a priest. He's basically found a Bigfoot priest.
No,
Father Bigfoot.
No,
you've just created Father Bigfoot.
I haven't.
You have.
I haven't, Dennis. I'm thinking more shaman, right?
Okay.
I'm not thinking. It's not organized. You know, these are like folk preachers.
That sounds pretty organized in terms of what people's preconceived notions of Bigfoot would have been up until now.
Well,
you're saying they've organized religion.
No,
like
I'm not. I'm saying they've like some kind of folk religion.
Okay, all right, grand, but they must be passing on knowledge and stuff at the very least. They must have a society, like.
Yes, I think they do.
So there's a Bigfoot society with Father Bigfoot there, is what you're saying, and not only has it recorded the noise, like you could have just said, I think they're mating calls.
That's why they're so elusive. There's all these scandals going to come out.
They keep moving Bigfoot around.
They do, parish to parish. To many in the Bigfoot community, Dennis, the Sierra Sounds are seen as some of the most surefire proof we have of the existence of Bigfoot. The smoking gun, so to speak. Berry, however, has never reverted on his claims and maintains he was as shocked as anyone to go from Bigfoot skeptic to Bigfoot convert so quickly. One thing we do know, however, is that the Sierra Sounds remain until this day unexplained.
I always forget the title of our podcast, and then we come to the end, and I'm like, we're not going to get an answer on this, are we?
Well, we might. Now, I have, just to tease something, I do have the recordings.
Excellent. Can I hear it?
I think we should maybe do theories before doing the recording.
Why? How good is it?
It will be hard to top.
You really think so?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard, be honest now, right?
Yeah.
If it's possible, right?
Shut up.
Can you tell me, like, have you ever heard anything like it before? Is it close to anything?
It's do you know what? Maybe I should just send it over to you.
Do you think?
I
think maybe do, just because then I can give better answers on the theories.
Because I think I just can't. I won't be able to do it justice. I don't think, really. So I'll send it over to you now, and you can, in real time, you can have a listen to it.
While you're getting that up there, I saw a really cool clip of some concert where they were playing like a Celtic horn.
Oh wait a minute. Will I share my screen?
Yeah, share your screen.
Is that probably.
For anybody listening on YouTube, you're going to be in for a treat.
Do you know what I was going to do? But then I remembered that we recorded for we recorded for YouTube, and I thought better not do that. Actually, I was going to just prepare a Google tab that just said Bigfoot porn.
Oh yes, of course. You should have the classic porn folder on the desktop of your friend.
Can you see?
I can see that. Yeah. I love the second guy. He's looking pretty grumpy.
Yeah. So the people. I hope people don't get too. I don't care about them seeing my subscriptions or anything. Here we go. Are you ready to go, Dennis?
Yeah. I just want to point out that the third guy is not Bigfoot, but looks pretty like him.
No. Oh shit! That looks fucking weird as shit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Can you hear it?
No, I can't hear it at the moment.
Oh, hang on.
But that might just be. You can send it to me there on chat.
This would be very fun for them to listen to, won't it? Did I not share my audio? Maybe.
I wouldn't worry about it too much. We can kind of figure it out afterwards. Okay, well, at least they can see the video there if they want to go check it out.
I've become trapped in my... Oh, here we go. So you can't hear anything, no?
No, I can't hear anything at the moment. I'm just going to have to listen to this because if I talk, it won't come through. But here we go, okay. All right, okay. I didn't expect it to be like that. That doesn't sound anything like a bird, really.
But you heard the...
Yeah. It sounds like whooping. It sounds like kind of a spider monkey, if you've ever heard one of those before. Yeah, definitely. Definitely thinking something like a silverback gorilla type thing as well, maybe.
Listen on a bit more, because I think there are a few more sounds that might surprise you.
Okay, that second noise is fucking terrifying. I don't know what that is. The goblin thing.
Yeah.
That sounds like a little, like a Lord of the Rings goblin or something. That's very scary. I don't know what the hell that is. That doesn't sound like it's the same thing though. It does as well. I don't know if you got this off of that audio, but doesn't it sound like it's moving quite fast?
Oh, like it's running.
I don't think it's stationary. Like it sounds like it's moving.
I never thought about that. But do you know what's so funny is I could see your face, your little skeptical face, as that played through. I could see you going in ready to poo it, and you actually shitting the bed as you were listening to it.
I would think the whoop whoop. I was like, okay, that sounds very like ape. Like that's it's not something that shocked me to hear it.
Yeah.
But that second goblin almost talking noise is very strange. But it's definitely not talking. But it is really weird. What'd be even weirder about that is that if those are two different things, that whoop whoop and the little goblin noise.
Or like that they're different creatures, do you think?
Well, maybe one of them is, like a priest. A priest
and a lay person.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like there could be two different types of Bigfoots. Even though that goblin thing sounds very sinister. And it sounds low as well. Like it sounds low to the ground. Whereas the whoop thing sounds like it's going through trees or something. Can Bigfoot go through trees? Or can it just walk?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Is Bigfoot like an orangutan, or can it?
He's on the ground mostly, but I'm sure
Yeah.
he could give it a go. I'm sure he could get up there.
Yeah, I never really thought about it. It actually kind of resembles a huge sloth as well in ways, which did exist before.
Yeah, true.
And they were massive. Anyway, okay, we've got a couple of theories to this sound, which everyone should have heard by now, if you're listening on the audio version anyway.
If you listen further into that as well, there's a bit that I think where it kind of does just sound like the Bigfoot goes, hiya! Which I personally think is probably the least, the let's say just like the least invigorating bit for me.
I'm listening to another bit there now, and it sounds like he's saying Hadouken? Hadouken?
Hadouken. Very crazy. That's very interesting. So Denis, what do you take away from those sounds? You were scared.
I think if people listen to this, honestly, like okay, well, you'll hear it already on the podcast version,
I'll pop it in.
on Spotify or whatever. But on the video version, just go and look at it there if you're watching on YouTube, because that is quite weird.
Yeah,
and I think your man's. The guy who's recording it, like his reaction actually makes it scarier, because you kind of forget for a little bit when you're listening to it that this is actually just being recorded out somewhere. If you heard those noises at night, especially the second one, the first one I could kind of explain it away, like maybe it's like a coyote or something, or like if you're asleep at night and you hear a noise in the house, you try and explain it away. The second one, that sounds weird. That sounds like something angry.
He has as well quite a muted response to it. Jones, then like he's aware of the fact he needs to record this kind of. He's like,
he is, but he is shitting it.
Yeah, yeah, he is scared. So, Denis, having listened to that, then I think it's about time we get to the theories.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, the first theory I have is that it's Bigfoot.
Are we still doing this?
What do you mean?
Are we still doing this? We've discussed this now at length in the last couple of episodes. Like, what? But why is it Bigfoot?
What, is that so that's not meant to be a theory. No,
I think it's. I think you're presenting for the whole episode that it is Bigfoot.
Well, yeah,
right.
And it has to be one of my theories, then, don't you think?
Yeah, but I just think it should be like more like it's a Bigfoot that has come into the area from a different place. You know what I mean?
Oh, you want me to like jazz it up or something? You know,
like
it's not good enough that it's Bigfoot. Yeah,
I never said I want you to tart up Bigfoot.
A man who 2 seconds ago was complaining that I said maybe it was in some kind of religious practice, and now I say that it's Bigfoot, and you lambaste me.
All right, okay, it is Bigfoot.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Okay. Oh, okay, fine. I'll play your game. It's Bigfoot having sex. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
Is this what you want?
No, I'm not trying to sex up Bigfoot.
Okay.
Right? Don't get me wrong. Okay. But I'm just trying to. I suppose I'm just looking for a theory, right? Of where the Bigfoot originated from, if it is Bigfoot.
Well, it lives in that area.
Yeah, but why does it live in that area? You know, like what's good for Bigfoots around there or whatever.
I suppose I don't know what the commuting links are like or anything.
Yeah, good commutes.
Yeah,
short commute times.
It's very very bucolic. You know, lots of lovely forests around that area.
Fresh air.
Yeah, I just think I'd never even questioned why Bigfoot chose to live there. It's just natural. It's its natural habitat.
Okay.
You don't see a lion and go, "Wow, was it Serengeti? Was that hard for you to choose here?" You know, like.
Oh, so what you're saying is, right, when David Attenborough and all the boys went over there and they were just looking at them going, "It's no documentary here. It explains itself."
Well, yeah, pretty much. Like, I don't know about you, but I think Blue Planet doesn't need to go on that long.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that.
Yeah.
That's a different point.
I get it. Do you know what I was thinking today, actually? Said this to someone today. Is do you reckon any of the animals on Blue Planet ever ended up getting in trouble because they were in the documentary? Like,
what, you for speaking out, like?
Well, no, I was thinking like an orca arrives home, you know, one night. He goes, "Oh, how are you getting? Oh, hi, love," and then his wife just turns on the TV and goes, "You said you were working late, yet there you are with the lads." Eating a seal. Do you want to explain yourself?
I can imagine that too perfectly.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you who couldn't imagine it too perfectly. The gig I tried it at the other.
Really didn't go for it, no?
No, they didn't. So sometimes.
But you can imagine the orca on the little small couch with a dressing going on, smoking a fag.
Exactly, and I could picture the daddy orca sweating.
Oh, but also having a hat and a trench coat.
He's dressed kind of like a private eye or like a madman.
Yeah,
type,
yeah.
One of the madmans.
Those audience are idiots.
I know, that's what I was thinking. But so the first one is it's Bigfoot having sex. That was the first theory.
No, it wasn't.
What was it not?
No, it wasn't.
The second theory, Dennis, it's a bunch of escaped monkeys.
Okay, is that monkeys escaped in the area?
No. Which is
why. No record. Sorry, Rog. Sorry. Okay, right. Another thing we have to get to the bottom of here, right?
Yeah.
Usually the theories are like something you've found that someone else has presented, but a bunch of escaped monkeys seems like that might have been something that you've come up with. Just the way it's phrased.
I don't reveal my sources.
And how many is a bunch?
A bunch? I would say 6.
Okay, so like a bunch of bananas.
Yeah, that's
basically
exactly what I thought.
All right.
I really do put a lot of time into these theories. I don't just make them up on the spot. The next one, there is military testing in the area, and they somehow had turned a man into being half monkey.
This is that even written anywhere? Do you actually have that written anywhere? You don't.
I do.
You do?
I do, yeah.
All right, who came up with that theory then?
You kind of inspired me with that when you mentioned military testing in the intro.
That was today.
Yeah.
All right, so no one has actually put forward.
That was like 45 minutes ago.
Have there been any theories external of this episode and external of your brain or mine put forward about what explains the Sierra sounds?
Okay, 2 big theories.
Okay.
Right, first one, we've mentioned it's Bigfoot.
Okay, definitely, yeah. That's one of the big ones, yeah.
Second theory is it's a hoax.
Okay, not as exciting.
Yeah. I don't see it being a hoax for me.
A hoax by this guy, is it?
Yeah.
In its entirety, okay.
Or a prank maybe played on him.
Yeah, there's extra people involved though, and they'd have to be in there to do it as well, unless they knew he was coming, But I'm sure he's maintained that it's not a hoax, right?
Yeah, I listened to an interview that the guy gave like last year. He's very old now, and honestly, it would fucking send shivers up your arse. It's not. It shakes.
I never really though buy into the argument that he's this old, he's still saying it's not a hoax.
Why?
Because, why would you bother if you're nearly dead by saying, no, actually, I made it all up?
What do you mean?
There'd be no point, There'd be no point in coming clean.
I don't know. I think...
What would be the point in coming clean? As in, now you're known for just nothing.
So you think it's... You think him just keeping that story going for years?
I think it's better to keep lying, in this situation. Or, if you kept it going for 5 years, and you said, look, lads... call it off, right? Look, that's a hoax. Fair enough. I think once you get to 15 years, you've probably crossed the line of where people are ever going to trust you with anything ever again. So you're better off just keep on going.
No, I think I'd have I would come clean.
You would definitely come clean.
I'd come clean eventually.
So if you ever pull off a hoax, and people if you die claiming something, we know that it wasn't a hoax.
Yeah.
What if you die suddenly?
Oh, well,
fuck that.
You'll have to pick and choose, I guess. Do you know what one of my biggest fears is being killed and then making it look like a suicide.
I'm going to say it on the podcast right now, right? I'm just going to say it, right? I'm lucky enough to say this. I'm not making fun of it, right? But I'm putting it on record, right? I am so scared of dying, right? So scared of dying. Yeah. I will never be able to bring myself to kill myself, right? It'll never ever happen, right? It will not happen. So, if it happens, I've been done in, and it's probably this podcast.
We've gotten too close to the truth.
Yeah, I've killed myself because.
Oh, okay.
No, the first one. It's the first one. You see, I've already muddied the waters now, and I've created 2 conspiracy theories when I do. Great.
Yeah. Well, Denis, I think we've really come down on the fact that it is Bigfoot. Then
I think there's no way it isn't. To be honest, I would like to see what it is. I would like to go out there. Has anyone gone out there again?
No, he was too afraid to go out, so it's just the mic. He just had the mic out the flap of the tent.
Couldn't get the time off work.
Yeah. No, I don't think... Joe, actually, that's interesting, is people have captured sounds similar to this in other areas where there's Bigfoot hotbeds. But I don't think they've been reliably recaptured in this area. And I think potentially even, if you really want to go down this route, it's quite sad, but there's a chance that Bigfoot, big feet, that they might have died off by now.
They could have, but you'd be hoping you'd come across some remains of them, some fairly massive remains. But then people are just going to say they're the giants of America, so how do you...
That's true.
All right, I think it does it for this week's episode. I'm Denis Len. You can find me Denis Len 3D and everywhere else on the internet. Over there in the yellow t-shirt is...
Roger O'Sullivan. You can find me at Roger O'Comedy. And and you can find me at Roger Sullivan on Twitter.
Coming up, myself and Roger are going to be doing a special as part of Hastings Comedy. Will this episode be out before we do it?
No,
we don't know.
No.
It won't. We've just done it.
No, it will.
Will it?
It will be the Wednesday of.
All right, we're doing it.
There'll be a few people
next.
Probably who'll go, do you know what? I'll listen to that Thursday, and then they'll hear it, and we will have done it.
We'll be doing it.
Yeah.
15th of June in Hastings, if we've any Hastings fans out there, which we looked up. We don't.
No.
You should come along and see it. It'll be on 7:30. I think it's £6 to get in. We're doing half an hour each. But yeah, unless we've got any other news, Raj.
We'll head off to the Den Files, I guess. Just before we go, I guess. Love you. Bye.